Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Ask the Unicorn Show. I'm Ahura Z, and this is Nirkazi.
Hi, today is June 14th, 2016, and it is episode 87.
Episode 87.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. And tonight we're looking forward to having a good show. Anyway, I hope you all have your questions. If you write them down, it makes it a little easier, because what happens is people get in front of me and all of a sudden they forget the questions oftentimes. But before we get into the show, I have a few things to say. I'd like to give a shout out to all of my colleagues in New England film, and you all know who you are. There's some good films coming out this year, so I hope that you'll all get to see them, and I hope that you all support us, because we do work very hard very diligently to bring you good entertainment. That being said, we've had a bit of a tragedy this week, and I have my own takes on it, and you all have your own takes on it, and this has to do with our shooting that happened in Orlando. Whether you believe it is a false flag or whether you don't believe it's a false flag is kind of irrelevant. People did die, people were injured, and even a false flag doesn't mean that nobody's ever injured. It merely means that people get injured in order to push an agenda. Now, I have my thoughts on it. I'll try to steer clear of a lot of those thoughts. I'm sure you all have your thoughts on it as well. But the main thing is that for those people that did get injured and those people that did get killed, perhaps you will take a moment and say a prayer for them and their families. That being said, I want to make it very, very clear that Unicorn Cove, Ask the Unicorn, Unicovia, does not tolerate any form of racism or sexism in any way, shape, or form. If you are of the belief that you can talk badly about any race or anyone's religion, this is not the show for you. If you have a problem with people being gay or bisexual or transgender, this is not the show for you. If you have a problem with people of any race at all on the face of this planet, this is not a show for you. Evidently, someone is already wanting to call. No. Evidently, someone is already willing to call. However, we will wait a little bit before we get into the calls, because I think this is a very important to state. We all live on this planet together. We live now in the year 2016. We have enough troubles with our governments being as corrupt as they are. And yes, I did say corrupt. If you've all been paying attention to the election process of the election and primaries and things like that, you know by now that it is a very corrupt system. You have one lunatic running, you have one person that is diligently trying to help people, and then you have one person that is just a control freak. So our choices are very, very slim. We love this country, and I hope you all love this country, and that you love the people that live in this country. It's high time that we went ahead and stepped through that doorway into a higher evolution instead of just talking about it. If we're going to do something revolutionary, let that revolution be about peace and love and light, and let it be that to live and let live, and to evolve and to move beyond the petty differences that we do have, and to stand up for each other, stand up for ourselves, stand up for not just the future generations, but the generations that are already here, and show some respect for the generations that have passed. All in all, we are all one, and we need to really start acting like we are all one. Now, I don't care what walk of life that you come from, as long as you're willing to be positive, and as long as you're willing to be of light, I'm with you right there. Okay, so all that being said, I hope that all of the questions that are asked this evening help to bring you into that higher state of awareness, and help you decide to develop yourself, and help you decide to assist humanity in evolving and not hurt humanity and de-evolving. Now, I'll answer any question or nature of metaphysical, spiritual, paranormal, or mystical. However, there are two types of questions that I do not answer, and that is whether or not someone's going to die or whether or not someone is cheating on someone. If you want to ask questions about those things, you should probably deal with the people that you're asking about. Beyond that, everything is fair game, as long as it deals with equality and peace. And as long as I can help you reach a solution in your problems, I give you a practical application to whatever it is that you are dealing with. So that being said, the unicorn is in. I'm listening. What do you got?
Okay. That's so corny. I can't get over it. Okay. We have shout outs to Lucia, Perry, Smiley, and Bree are on. Also,
hello, everyone.
Andy Chandler and Vasu are on.
Hi.
And Tabari. And just a reminder, you did say you'd speak about remote viewing this week.
Okay.
And we have an email from Sandra. She says, Dear Ahura, I often receive messages from various channels. They keep on saying that I have a husband, although I do not, and know his name, and ask me to change my name. Do you know what it is? Why to change my name? They say because of you. I'm confused. I'm confused too.
I'm kind of confused too.
Because of you whom? Because of you, Sandra, or because of you, Ahura?
Well,
I'm confused.
there's nothing to be confused about. Evidently, her guys are talking to her about something that may happen in the future, and perhaps I'm the one that would give her the answer.
You do give out names. It's true.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that. That would be under the heading of a reading.
Exactly.
Those are private things that I do. If you're looking for a reading, I'd be more than welcome, more than willing to help you reach your whatever it is that you need to reach, or do a reading for you. But I don't do that on this show. However, if you'd like to talk about it a little later, I'd be more than happy to sit and talk with you and find out what it is that you have been dealing with, and hopefully we can reach a viable conclusion. Okay. You may notice that I'm a wee bit subdued this evening, and it's not that I'm feeling sad. I'm a little disappointed in humanity at the moment, and I'm sure that you've all reached those moments of disappointment where you look at something that has happened and you realize that you actually know what happened, and it's a little disappointing to think that people can stoop to such a low places to pass what it is that they want to pass, or to have people believe what it is that they want them to believe. So I'm dealing with that at the moment. I do know that humanity also has very high moments, and I'm hoping that through this tragedy, everyone will decide to take a higher road, or most people that are capable of taking a higher road will decide to do that. So as far as your question, Sandra, we'll talk later about that. Maybe I can help you out.
We have a question from Vasu. She says, Hi, Ahura. I have a strange situation. There's a friend of mine, and I'm getting to know very personal information about her from some strange way. I can't understand how. I'm getting to know what?
What's your question?
I don't know. Sorry, Vasu, you're gonna have to be a little more clear about what your question is. Lucia has a question.
Okay.
Or actually, he just says, "Hi guys, looking forward to tonight." Lush.
Good to have you.
Oh, I'm pronouncing it wrong. You told me I was pronouncing it wrong. I'm so sorry. He says it is pronounced Lucia.
Yeah, Lucia. Lucia is fine.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was going on what I was.
She's not sorry.
I am. I asked him, and I was like, "Is it Lucia?"
I told you.
He told me Lucia.
Well, that's how I would pronounce it, Lucia, but he pronounces it Lucia.
It's his fault, dude. I'm so sorry. It's his fault. Lucia.
No, because you asked me if it was Lucia.
And I said, "Is it Lucia or Lucia?"
Yeah, Lucia.
I speak.
Or he pronounces it more without the I sound, yeah. So it's more Lucia.
Lucia. Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you.
Okay.
That's all.
Masu, would you read her thing again so maybe I can find the question in it?
I think she wants to understand.
No, just to read her question. Thank you.
It says, "Hi Ahura, I have a strange situation. There's a friend of mine, and I'm getting to know very personal information about her from some strange way. I cannot understand how."
How is it that you can gain information about someone? Well, you have a good intuition. We've talked about that before. So it could be just through your intuitive things, or maybe your guys are showing you. And that's how you can get that kind of information.
I don't know details about her I'm supposed to know.
Then you could ask her.
Wait, what? About her past. It is very confusing for me to know information about her which she has not yet shared.
Be patient.
Oh, so she's knowing things about her friend without her friend telling her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
She wants to know how.
And she wants to know how.
It's her intuition. She's actually quite intuitive. We've discussed this before, that she grows in spurts.
Mm-hmm.
And she's having apparently another growth spurt. Well, so are a lot of people, which brings me to a point. Listen, a lot of you are waking up out there. There are a lot of people that you are talking to that are waking up, and Kazi is driven. But there's a lot of people out there that are waking up right now, and most of you are feeling the effects of waking up, because they're, like I said, there's like this whole pod of octopi that are out there. It's actual octopods that are waking up right now, and you're all feeling the effects of waking up. Listen, it's okay. You're going to go through this discomfort. It's called an identity transformation as opposed to an identity crisis. Okay, you are changing, and there are people out there that are changing very, very rapidly. But understand, people like me are here to be the welcoming committee for you. Okay, because I had
you are all the chosen ones.
Because I've had so many people right now that have been telling me things like, I am so different right now. I am getting all of these signals, and there's a war that is going on, and they come and they approach me with such urgency of this battle of light and darkness, and all of the intuitive things that there are, and they're getting answers from some unknown place. Yes, that is part of it. And I have a few things to say to you all. Listen, I understand.
Welcome to the show.
And welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Okay. We've been here for quite some time, and you just got your character name. So
time to level up.
You're all going to change. And it's good that you are changing. Those of you that are waking up, it's very, very good that you are changing. Just understand that there are many of us that have always been in this battle. And it's because of us that you have a place to go to where you don't feel totally out of place. So hang in there. You're going to be all right. And we are so glad to have you.
Welcome.
I will be yes, I am part of the training committee, and I will be more than happy to give you your training. Okay, so it's going to be all right. And tell your friends that you see that are waking up that they'll be okay too. All right, tell them they don't need to go and invest in a straitjacket or anything like that. They don't need to think that they're Neo. Okay, because there's a whole bunch of Neos out there. I have spoken to the one over 50,000 times.
Me too, on the phone.
Okay, so I get it. You all are so beautiful, and you're all so light and so wonderful, and I'm so happy to have you, because now I have more people to talk to. But understand, the things that you come and you rant to me about, I know it's going to be all right. And most of the times I just want to look at you and go, especially when you say, did you know that there's a battle of light and darkness? Yes, I did. But I think it's beautiful. It's just funny. Sorry, there's a little cosmic humor there for you all. I just felt like making fun of you. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I was making fun of you. But
people need to know why it puts the notion on its skin.
It's okay. All right. What other questions do you have there? Not to mention that I have spoken to approximately 350 people that are the incarnation of Dracula.
And we have Cleopatra.
Oh, I have tons of Cleopatras. Oh, a whole bunch of them. Yes.
We have a question from Smiley.
Hello.
Hi. She says, "Is there something in the air then?" I know I have a very short fuse.
Oh my goodness. Yes, there is. What you're feeling is the anxiety that everyone is having, and you are one of those cosmic octopi that reaches out. Yeah, she's very much an empath.
Cool.
And you're one of those that are reaching out there and just grabbing other people's feelings. And unfortunately, it's harder to get rid of people's feelings than it is to, get saddled with them or absorb them, You got to realize that people are in such a state of panic that they're willing to believe almost anything. The last time that people got like this, that they were actually like this, just, very, very panicky, was in 2001. And shortly thereafter, we went to war with Iraq. And this is why I say everyone needs to kind of calm down. Just calm down. You don't want to believe everything that you see. You don't want to believe everything that you hear. You don't have to let those people that are going around spreading hate and anger and distrust and vilifying people's religions or their races. You don't have to agree with them, nor do you have to participate in that. In fact, as a matter of fact, I would recommend that you try to stay as far away from those situations so that you can reach your own conclusion. Okay. As I told you, Mars is still retrograde. I told you people. Yeah, it's still retrograde. It'll be retrograde until about August 29th.
No.
Yeah. And you're going to go through a lot of feelings that
June 29th.
Mars, was it June 29th?
Yes.
Okay, June 29th. Okay, so you're going to go through a lot of feelings and a lot of things that Mars would generally help you to regulate, which means that you're going to have to try just a wee bit harder. As I told you, this is a prime time for little skirmishes to happen. And someone out there actually knows that. You see, you have to understand that there have been people that have lived on this earth for so long and have cultivated generations after generations after generations of the same type of a thought that know the ins and outs of people's minds. And since they know the ins and outs of people's minds, they know exactly which buttons to push on you, which things to manipulate on you, which things to shut down, and which things to open up for you. And our media is, oh my God, I don't even know of a more irresponsible association than our media. Our public media is just excruciatingly irresponsible. They will report on things in such a way that you would think that there's a national crisis because someone's parakeet got out and was flying around town. Well, we're tracking this particular parakeet and it is heading towards downtown. If you see our Doppler here, we're showing right on this map, we have the most sensitive Doppler system that there is on the face of the earth. And right now it's tracking that ferocious parakeet going to 5th and Walnut. And if you think about the news, they really make it that grave. It doesn't matter what it is. And we believe that that parakeet is associated with ISIS.
The parakeet has announced its allegiance to ISIS.
So you need to stay away from stuff like that. It's only going to irritate you. I'm telling you, it's made to irritate you. It is made to cause you fear. And they proved this. I can't remember the exact year, but when they did the radio broadcast of the War of the Worlds, and everybody went screaming out into the street thinking the Martians were actually attacking, And then was it Henry Orwell, what's his name, had to get on and say, listen, this was just a skit. Okay, it wasn't real. We're naturally hysterical. We are so ready to be hysterical about something. The sad part about that is that there are probably that I'm pretty sure that there are different races out there that are just pondering right as we're sitting here saying we should go and scare those people, just for a kick. Let's actually invade and see what happens. We need to seriously get it together, people. We're acting a bit psychotic. We're kind of nutsy cuckoo. So try to stay away from that, Jolana. That's why you're feeling all of that. You're feeling everybody. When you get a bunch of people, it works like a magnet. You have two magnets that are pretty tight, and then you put two other magnets to it, and that pull gets stronger, so it starts attracting other things. And then what happens is there are things that get caught up in the attraction that are on the way, that are in the path of these magnets heading towards each other, and that's what's happening with you. So try to separate yourself from those kind of things. Hope that helps you out. What do you got for me next?
Shout out to Miyoko.
Hello, Miyoko. How you doing?
And Amy is on.
Hello, Amy. Which Amy? We have two Amy's now. Amy York.
I don't know which
Is it? Yeah, it's
I think it's Amy.
yeah. Hello, Amy. How you doing?
And she has a question.
Okay.
Oh, Smiley says, "At last, the name for what is happening. I don't ever remember being this intuitive or having such clarity. It is overwhelming sometimes. Any suggestions for making the transition smoother?"
Yes, stay grounded and focus on what you have to do right in front of you. Remember what I told you, that when you get ungrounded like that, you need to focus on something physical. Okay. The more physical that you are in those particular moments, the less overwhelming it will be. You'll have a place to actually channel things so that you can release some of the tension and nervous energy. Okay, what do you got?
And it is Carrie's friend Amy, not an Amy that we know.
Okay.
And Vasu has a question. Thank you.
Okay, what do you got, Buster?
She wants to know, can waking up go horribly wrong?
Yes, it can, depending on who's around you. It can go very, very, very wrong. But fortunately, the universe in its wisdom has put people like myself in, we're kind of peppered all over the place so that you can run into someone so that we can handle it. I call us crisis management.
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles, that was it. I'm thinking of George Orwell, 1984.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
I was
Just born.
just fresh. Still a flesh bag, bag of flesh crawling around. Let's see. Amy has a question.
Sure.
Hi, question. Meaning of dreams of someone killing themselves or shooting themselves in the head.
It means you need to watch something that you're doing because you're sabotaging yourself. You're actually sabotaging yourself. Whatever it is that you're doing right now, you need to take a step back and think about what you're doing. There may be an opportunity that you're not taking, and by doing that, you're sabotaging your well-being. By the same token, if you're rushing into something headlong without thinking, you may be stepping on your own foot or shooting yourself in the head. It's only figuratively. No, you're not going to shoot yourself in the head. No one's going to shoot you in the head. That's figuratively. So take a look at your actions. Really step back, take a look. Think about what you're doing before you rush into something. Okay? All right. What do you got?
Lucia asks, what are some good ways to diminish or transmute electromagnetic radiation from computers or routers?
Again, turn your computer off once in a while and stay away from it. Keep yourself grounded. Do something physical. It's a basic thing. Remember, electricity just stays kind of live until you ground it, and it has a place to go. Electromagnetic energy is the same. No matter what you do, you're not going to get rid of electromagnetic energy. However, you can get rid of surges of it by remaining grounded and remaining moving so that it has some place to go. It's the same as if you're inactive all the time, the water that's in your body stays in one place, and it doesn't do you any good. But the more that you move, the more active that you are, that water can go through its evaporating process and getting out of your body and release, and you can remain with good circulation. That's why it's recommended for you to do some form of exercise on a daily basis. Okay, so it's the same thing. Some of the things that we know are metaphysical always include the physical, and that's one thing that needs to be said. Metaphysics doesn't mean devoid of physicality. It means inclusive of physicality. There's a physicality, which is basic physics, and then there is the meta, which is beyond and greater than. That's considering those things that are not necessarily seen, but those things that are rooted in physics. Remember, we know that there are planets out there. We know that there are all of these planets and all of these stars and solar systems and galaxies in the universe that is out there. However, to our naked eye, they may not be visible. You know that the moon is somewhere around there, even though during the daytime you may not see it. You know, it's kind of like that. You know that there's a fire someplace because it's warm. So you have to consider the physical of things and then the metaphysicality of things. So do something physically, but do something that is going to be practical. Don't just, run around in circles and scream your head off and wave your arms and call that, well, I'm doing something physical. It has to be something that actually lends itself to a foundation in your life, something that is going to help you to build, not only build, but strengthen the foundation in your life so that you can handle more of the energy that is coming your way. Old saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. So you got a mental boost, find something physical to do so that you can assimilate all that energy, okay? You're trying to get a mental boost, get up off of your keister and do something physical. Do something that's going to be constructive, and you'll get the energy that you're looking for. Interesting word, that keister.
Keister.
Hope that helps you out, Lisa.
Smiley says, yes, cosmic octopi, thanks for the reassurance. Thank you, Ahura. Boston has a question.
Sure.
She says, I have a question on time. Do you think we are living backwards? Some form of consciousness / energy has already planned everything for everyone, i.e. free will is an illusion.
Free will is never an illusion. You have it all the time. It's just so you could be subjected to the free will of others. Time is not so simplistic as to just be moving backwards. Time, actually, if you want to call anything the illusion, it's time. Time is something that we invented in order to make us feel as if we did something and finished something. That's just our own illusion that we've decided to trap ourselves into, and did a pretty good damn job of trapping ourselves into. So no, it's not that free will is the illusion, because you have free will. You have the free will to make a choice, to make an identification, be you of light or be you of darkness. That is what your free will is supposed to do. And whichever path you take is going to be perpetuated by one of those two energies. So time goes backwards, forwards, lateral, up, down, in and out, and it just does, And so for us to call it time and put a pattern on it is kind of predictable. That's what we like to do. We made up time so that we could predict things. So when a person even asks me, can you predict my future? I tell them, well, that wouldn't do you much good at all, considering that the future can change with any thought that is made. The fact that I would tell you about your future means that it would change in some way, shape, or form. What I can do is help you navigate your way from one place to another, and hopefully you will get to the right place. But there is no real guarantee of that, because there are so many other sequences that people are living that would interfere or propagate what it is that you're trying to do, that would change the entire direction of what your goal is or what your idea of your future is. I mean, I'm sure none of you got up thinking that, Ahura was going to wear his Hawaiian shirt.
I did.
No, you didn't. Because they could have just as well wore my Harry Potter shirt, or anything. It's kind of like that. And even then, this was like just a decision at the last moment. So I think I'll wear this shirt tonight. Because I look kind of cute in it. So. So
No.
Time is, if anything, is the illusion, not your free will. And don't ever forget that. Don't let anyone talk you out of that. There are people that would love to talk you out of believing that you have free will. And what they're doing is subjecting you to their free will. So, what else have you got? I hope that helps you out, Bessa.
Amy says, thank you. Is the same true if you dream of someone else killing themselves?
One thing that you never do, ever, is go up to someone and say that, I had a dream that you died, or I had a dream that you killed yourself. That is something that you just don't do. You don't ever do that. And, if you ever dream of someone else doing that, wouldn't it be far better to just make sure that person is okay? We kind of involve ourselves in other people's lives way too much. If that person is sabotaging themselves, okay, maybe you can do something to help. But beyond that, it would probably be better for you to just make sure that person is okay and make sure that they're not doing something that is going to hurt them. And if they are doing something that is going to hurt them, you can say something. You say, hey, I don't think that's a great idea. Myself, I have seen times that I knew that if a person moved a certain way, something was going to happen to them. So instead of even saying anything to them, I would go up and just distract them and move their attention and thereby change what it is that was going to happen. I'd go up to them and say, can you take a look at this? And I'd move them out of harm's way, and just then a bus would go boom, or you don't ever want to disturb someone's well-being by making them fearful of an event. Ever. Just not that you were going to. I'm just telling you that that's part of it. If you see that happening to someone else in your dream, perhaps you can just, if they're a friend of yours or you know them in some way, shape, or form, maybe you can just observe and see what it is that they're doing, and just to wait for the opportunity to, just tell them, I don't think that's a great idea, but that's all you need to do. See, we have to learn to be more stealthy. You ever notice that when you're trying to do something that's actually good for a person, about 8 times out of 10, they will fight you just because, So it's far better for you, the person that is the intuitive, if you know that something's about to happen, to help them sidestep the event. And that takes a lot of practice. Because a lot of you may go on this Mission Impossible and start hearing your own theme music and do something utterly dopey, but it would be far better for you to learn to develop yourself so that you could be of assistance. So even if you saw someone else in a dream, remember, develop yourself so that you know what the hell you're talking about and what you're seeing. Lane, sit down. Thank you. Okay. All right, what else have you got?
Lucia says, I do an hour of cardio in the morning and 1 hour in the evening.
Awesome. Make sure that you're doing some muscle development as well.
Leanne says hi.
Hello. Hi, Leanne. How are you, sweetheart?
Amy says, yes, absolutely. Such a good point. And Shelly says, good night.
Night, night, Shelly.
Good night. It's early.
I know, Shelly's a little lady.
Oh, yeah. She gets up at 3. Lucia asks a question. Are extraterrestrial races going to make themselves known in a more public manner towards the end of the year?
Well, actually, they probably could have done that last year, so it's no real way, because I think it's not necessarily up to them, because it's obvious that our government has been dealing with extraterrestrials for quite some time, even though they pretend like they're not. I don't even know why they're doing that ridiculous gestalt. I just think that it should be plain and simple. But what you don't know is that, or maybe you do, is that they have already made themselves quite obvious. Well, at least to people like me. They've also been starring in movies and other events. Some of the people that you see in everyday entertainment and even in your passing are actual agents, are aliens. And they even joke about it in the movies, so they've already kind of made themselves. It's more of a filtration, like they're integrating themselves, which is probably one of the smartest moves that they can do, because I think if we actually saw them the way that they were, I don't think that we would get it, or most people would not get it.
She's getting something. He said get it, and she jumped up.
Come here. Okay. So yeah, they'll make themselves much more obvious, and we're pretty freaky people if you think about it. Humans are like incredible freaky people. There are a lot of people that are very, very conservative, or they're plain conservative because they think that it makes them special. But for the most part, we're pretty freaky, and I think more than anything that they're probably afraid of us, because I don't think that they're here just solely for the purpose of mating with humans, and that's probably one of the first things on our mind, either killing them or mating with them or raping them or doing something to them. As far as science goes, the whole old, they want to get a hold of aliens so they can dissect them thing is not happening. That's just not going to happen. But we're pretty freaky people. And we're freaky people, so I think they're just kind of staying away from us because they know that we're crazy, But I think that they are going to make themselves more obvious. And they've already started that process of helping people to be able to deal with them. Lynn, will you leave that fly alone? Stop it. Puppy.
At least she's happy.
Yeah. So, yeah, they will. Hope that helps you out. What do you
got? Leanne says she's doing well and she's been busy.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Lucia says, I definitely knew that, but I guess that it's right there what you identified, integration over time in obvious and digestible ways.
Yeah. Because I think that it's more about them protecting themselves than knowing that humanity wouldn't necessarily deal with them. That they just don't want to have to deal with humanity in the way that humanity is capable of dealing with people. Look how we deal with our own. We're pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
That's it for now.
Okay, so remember, the more people that you invite to the show, the more questions that I can answer. I told you guys that I would talk a little bit about remote viewing. Remote viewing, I kind of touched on it last week, but it's actually complicated and simple at the same time. It's being able to see through another person's eyes or another person's senses, and to a degree cause that person to believe that they are thinking something, that what they're doing is actually their own thought process, but it may be part of your energy with them. Now, we do that every day. Your parents do that all the time to you. You're very, very influenced by your parents. And because you're influenced by your parents is a way of them vicariously living through you. Remote viewing is kind of like remotely living through another person and influencing them to a degree. And then there's another form of remote viewing, which is actually more weaponized, which means that you can actually program a person to, with a simple command, do a certain thing. And that's all you, they'll do that one thing. And no matter what they do, there's a shut off switch, there's a command for a turn on, and there's a command for a shut off. And we like to give them fancy names like sleepers and
Winter Soldier.
yeah, Winter Soldier. Oh, it's kind of like that, but that's just kind of dopey and obvious, you know. It's kind of like that, but you guys get programmed all the time. Look at all the women that think that they're all supposed to name their babies with a J name. That's a programming, you know. And those people that just believe that, you know, women who actually believe that they're supposed to have children just because they're women.
No.
Yeah, I'm just saying that those are programs. Those are deliberate programs. They are programmed in the things that they eat. They're programmed in the things that they read, the things that they hear. And because of that, you got people who believe that they are supposed to be a certain thing and only that certain thing based upon what mass media says. And mass media knows this. That's why they say certain things to you. They say certain words to you. They give you certain terms, and they will all use the exact same term, you know, which is the most uncreative thing ever. But people will eat it up. Like I listen to people talk about why they didn't like Obama. And you know what? You could talk to 100 people that don't like Obama, and they will all parrot the same unimaginative crap. The exact same thing. But none of them will actually tell the truth. Then you go look at people that think that Trump is good for the country, and you can ask them, well, why? Well, because he says what's on his mind. And they will all say that to you. It says what's on his mind, and the corrupt government, and the this and the that, and you know, I don't like Obamacare, but you know, I'm all for universal health care. And they don't. It doesn't even dawn on you that it's the same damn thing until you show them. It doesn't dawn on like one. You get people that are programmed in such a way that they believe that being young and youthful and stupid is the way to go. You know, that's, you know, it's the way to be, because, you know, I'm young, I'm stupid, I can get away with whatever I want to get away with. And people will just say, oh, he's young. But they will parrot the same thing to you. Like, look at that one person, that guy who got off raping that unconscious woman. And he got up with 6 months and 3 months with good behavior.
She was unconscious.
And she was unconscious. He raped her behind a dumpster. And you know what? The judge did not even consider the trauma that young woman went through, consider all of the things that happened to her. He was more interested in this young punk being impacted by prison life. Well, prison could have a very bad impact on his life. No duh. That's kind of what prison is there for, you know, to have an impact on your life. And if you do something like that, you deserve prison, period. But he got off with that. And there are actually people that are defending his actions. Like his father even said that he doesn't see how it could be a good thing to send him to prison just for 20 minutes of action. Hey. That boy, listen to me. Oh. That boy needs to be castrated. And his daddy probably should have been castrated. Okay? Any woman, and I want to say this, and I hope you all spread this, okay, what I've just said. Any woman that deals with that boy, that has anything to do with that boy, with that man that raped that woman, is a freaking idiot, is a moron, is a disgrace to women, and a disgrace to humankind. That boy should effectively be castrated. And no woman should give him the time of day. But he's a little blonde-haired, blue-eyed Caucasian boy, and they're always making excuses for people like that. He wasn't brainwashed. He was privileged. And he got away with it. And that is wrong. That's absolutely wrong. Yet, you see nothing about this woman that he raped except for her letter. Okay? No one's talked to her, probably because she doesn't want anybody to talk to her because this idiot got off. And you know what? What everyone does? They comment on Facebook about it. They bicker over whether or not he was justified in raping her, or whether or not, well, she was unconscious and she was drinking. Right. The funny part is those very same people, if it was their daughter, they would have an entirely different thought about it. And I want to ask, where's that young girl's father? Because if it was my daughter, no force on heaven, hell, or earth would stop me from ripping that guy apart. So, you get programmed to think things. Now, that is part of a program. And no one's calling this guy a rapist. They're saying this young man. They're not saying how disgusted they are with it. None of the mass media is saying that. How absolutely disgusted. They're just parroting the same thing. And because of that, that comes off as a program. Because now there are people out there that will start feeling sorry for this jackass and start saying some of the things that the media is saying. Well, you know, this young man, he had a moment of irresponsibility. Yet then there's a black person that did the exact same thing. They got 15 years. So no one's outraged about that. No one is outraged about that. We just had this shooting here, but did you know that there was another shooting, and this was by a white guy, that killed 6 people, and they lied about it on the news and tried to say he only killed 3. He killed 6. And this happened in California. Oh, wait, it was in California. It was California.
I don't know.
And they didn't do a big brouhaha about that. In fact, you didn't even hear about it. And why? Because they couldn't lie and say that he was from ISIS. If it wasn't for ISIS, they would have said this guy was from Al Qaeda. But now you've got ISIS, so he's from ISIS. This guy couldn't be called from ISIS at all, and I don't believe that these other shooters were ISIS. I think that they were American, and I think that they were coerced into doing it. That's just what I think. Okay. Yes, there was definitely more than one shooter. Okay, not unless this guy was like Master Chief or from Halo or the Doom Slayer from Doom, and he could just run with one gun and shoot everybody, 50 people, and be so on target that he never missed. So no, sorry, there had to be more than one shooter, and there are eyewitness accounts that say that there was more than one shooter. But of course, this guy was on the phone calling everyone and saying what he had to say, saying that he's with ISIS and that he's mad because they keep bombing his country. Well, guess what? Let me make something perfectly clear. The country that this guy was from is here. He's born in New York. He lived in Florida. Okay? So which country was he talking about? Plain and simple. So anyway, there's my way in on it. Had to be said. But I'm just telling you, you get remote viewed all the time. You get activated all the time. Why do you think you go to McDonald's? Besides, if you don't know any better, their hamburgers taste really good. But why do you think it has to be McDonald's?
Quarter pounders.
Why do you think you go to Dunkin' Donuts and say that America runs on Dunkin'? Why do you think you do that? Okay, it's because it's been programmed in your head. Why do you insist on going to Walmart? Why do you insist on using products that you know are bad for you? It's been proven that they are bad for you, but you keep using them. Why? Because you saw that meat commercial and it made you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So you had to go out and get edible toothpaste. It's just, it's all about the slogans. It's all about, the programming. They tell you what it is. It's programming, television programming. And pretty much they tell you what they're doing. We all know that they're spraying chemicals over us. Where's the outrage? How come no one is mobbed at the airports that they fly out of? You know, and just protested there.
Just a bunch of people lay on the runway.
And I don't mean go, listen.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, I know. And listen, I don't mean go out there and act like a bunch of stupid monkeys, okay? I do not mean go out there and act like a bunch of idiots and tear up stuff and be violent and find reasons to destroy public property. That's not what I mean. You stop those jets from flying. You make known exactly what is going on and refuse to allow public mass media to garner your consciousness. Look at how many filmmakers that there are right now. We all need to get together and decide to create our own news work. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. Yes, I am. We're going to start our own news network that we give the real news on stuff. You know, because I sit and listen. I've sat and watched a few of those and just, those people are just blatantly lying. Okay, blatantly lying. You know, so you need to break the programs. Stop believing the hype. Okay? Listen, Isis was an Egyptian goddess and still is an Egyptian goddess. Isis. Do you think that name was picked by coincidence? It was a plan. It's an absolute plan. They didn't tell you about, they say that it was the worst terror attack on American soil since 9/11. Well, that might be true, but unless you're paying attention, because there have been many others, you know. But it's interesting how people like Timothy McVeigh didn't get called a terrorist. Or that other guy that shot up Colorado, he wasn't a terrorist. Okay.
Smiley says, I know a guy who was put away for 20 years for assault because he broke the guy's jaw, but saw another guy get a 4-year sentence for murder.
Yeah. Oh, Charles Manson is still living. Why?
Why?
Other people get the electric chair. Why is he still alive? I'm telling you, it's all programming. You know, listen, I need to say this. You know, all of this racist programming to make white people believe that you're safe just because you're white, do you know how much that's hurting you? That hurts you as much as it hurts people of color. It hurts you. You don't ever get to evolve. You will not evolve so long as you have racist thoughts in your mind. You will not evolve. And I'm telling you, you can pretend all you want to, but the racism is actually hurting you in the way that it will not let you evolve because you keep justifying wrong things. And I'm not talking about you personally. I'm talking generally here. Okay? Because I have two categories. I have white folks that are the same as black folks, that are the same as Latin folks, that are the same as Asian folks, that are the same as Native folks, that are the same as whatever. We're all the same. We are in this together, and we know that we're in this together. Okay? There is no difference between us. Yeah, we see the difference in skin color, but big whoop-de-doo. It's not anything. But then there are white people, and there are black people, and there are Asian people, and there are Hispanic people, and there are Native people. Those people I have very little tolerance for. Okay? So there's folks, which is family, and there's people. And you know, as long as we are kept separate from each other, it hurts us all. Do you understand? It hurts us all. It hurts you. When I look at a movie and I see, I know when there's going to be a sacrifice here. You know, I know it. You know, I see it coming. And I sit there and I go, oh, well, there's the black guy. He's right in the beginning of the movie. He has nothing to do with anything. And he's going to wind up dead. And sure enough, bam, there is. Or the Asian guy that all of a sudden winds up dead. And then, you know, there's the big, strong white guy, and he comes out and he's all swaggering and everything. And then there's this ethnic woman that comes out and they go, oh, they're going to pair him with her. Sure enough, it happens. You all should get tired of it. White people should get tired of that because it keeps you in a box. It keeps us in a box. It keeps any ethnicity in a box. It separates us and makes us small. We should get tired of that. That's what we should be protesting. We've heard the most stupid arguments. Okay, Hannibal was a black guy. I don't care what you people say. Well, he was Northern Africa, so that must mean that he was... No, he was black.
Hannibal.
He was black. He was black. He's a person that actually went up against the Roman Empire with elephants.
Oh, that.
And he was actually black. He was Northern African. And guess what? Before Europe came and occupied, there was no white Africa. I just need to say that to you people, in case you didn't pay attention. Okay? So people got all upset because the History Channel cast a black guy as Hannibal. It's because it was the truth, yes. Yes. Oh no, he was this, he was that. No, he was black. Get over it. It's okay. I mean, Jesus was not white. Oh, Yeshua, he was not white. I don't care what you say. There was no Bartholomew. The letter J was not even composed until, what, 1600s?
Later.
Just a thought. Anyway, but then to have Idris Elba play James Bond put everybody on their head. It didn't make any sense. He was a fictional character. Do you realize the stupidity and racism in that? You must. Well, guess what? People like me do. We do know it. And I think that people like anyone else, any white person knows that the same. And we need to not stand for that crap anymore. See, because I'm part white. Well, no, I'm not. I'm part Irish. Long explanation. But I am. I'm part of 4 warring tribes. Okay? 4 warring cultures. So I don't have the right to separate any part of myself, nor am I going to, nor should I accept anybody else separating. We have to get tired of it, and we need to come together as a people. And we need to make sure, not a people necessarily, but family, and make sure that we are not standing for that anymore. We can't. No one group of us is better than anyone else. It keeps us all in a box, and they know that. That's why you hear certain things, and you get taught certain things. No one is naturally born a racist. Even that jackass Hitler wasn't naturally born a racist. He got mad because some Jewish woman didn't like it because he was short and ugly.
And rightfully so. How come? What? Why didn't anybody stop and be like,
dude, get over it?
No, that and be like, but you're not one of the master races. You're not blonde hair and blue eyed.
Well,
how?
This is what I'm saying.
How could that have happened? Like,
yeah.
Serious?
Because people are. I'm telling you. I just told you, people are stupid.
Yeah,
you know, I just told you that.
Man
said people are insane.
Convincing people that blonde hair and blue eyes
was the master race.
However, he was not. How the F does that make sense? And why didn't anybody be like,
excuse me?
No.
Mr. Brown-haired, brown-eyed guy?
You know.
What are you saying?
Like Chris Tucker says
You would think. But hey, it keeps us all in a box. It's us against them. Okay? We need to expunge every racist out of the United States. It is not their country. This is our country. Our country is not about racism. Just a thought. Okay. So anyway, do you have any more questions at all?
Well, Angie Chandler said, I had an incident with remote viewing about 5 years ago. And Smiley said that that person was Samoan and drunk. Angie Chandler says, she was falling asleep with something jumped in and was seeing what they saw, sort of like a video camera view of my room. And I think it was black or white, not in color. And she pushed them out through praying. And she also says she thinks that antidepressants could suppress and hinder process on the side note.
You're absolutely correct. There are so many things out there that make you susceptible to mind control, susceptible to programs, and susceptible to remote viewing. Why do you think they give you so many things? If you look and you do some actual research, you'll find that even the lotions that you use on your skin and
Not
the
the
things
lotion.
that you put in your hair have certain things like that was used for mind control experiments like retinol, and things like that. All you have to do is research. Do a little bit of study. You'll find that there are chemicals that have been known to be used as neurotoxins and things that would subdue your whole consciousness in order to make you susceptible to such things. You have to just do a little bit of study, okay? Of course, you got loudmouths out there that will say, oh, well, there's no proof of that. And, those people, seriously, you need to look at them and say, oh, shut up. Just put a sock in it. Just shut up, okay? We need to start standing up to these people that are out there that don't know when to listen to someone when someone else is talking. Have you ever listened to a person that is trying to talk about metaphysics and someone who wants to be this snobby scientist? I call them douches, like that guy Tyson DeGrasse. That guy's a douche. He's a douche. Okay. They will interrupt the person talking and say, what are you saying? What are you saying? That doesn't look like this. That doesn't look like. I remember that Bill Nye guy saying, that doesn't look like a spaceship. So the guy just calmly asked him, well, tell us, what does a spaceship look like? So we need to stop swallowing their programs. What is the latest fad that they come up with? They come up with all of these things, that new energy drink that you're deciding to take that is just sweeping over America. You people seriously need to think about what you put in your bodies.
What is the new energy drink?
Well, there's all kinds, like 5-minute energy, stuff like that.
Oh, the stuff we used to drink.
Yeah, well, after I found out what was in it, I didn't. Seriously, it will subdue you. It's made to subdue you. And I feel really bad for women because you guys get all kinds of chemicals and things introduced to you, and you get told that it's necessary. Like those whole group of doctors that were going around scaring the hell out of women and telling them that they all had cancer. All of you have cancerous cells in your body, If you're between the ages of 18 and 40, we're going to find a way to make you think that you need a biopsy. And then we're going to bring you in, and then we're going to perform a laparoscopy on you, whether you want it or not. And tell you we're going to take some tissue, but don't worry, it'll grow back. Meanwhile, they're just trying to figure out how to do things to make you even more susceptible. Like, you think all of these women that are out there doing a lot of feminist things are doing it of their own volition, especially when it comes to further separating themselves from everyone else? No, it's programmed. It is programmed. They think that women are the more controllable. Obviously, they don't live around women a lot. Just a thought. And think about all of the people that go into the military. Most of these boys are not even well-adjusted enough to be high school graduates. And then they come out with PTSD. Well, I think a lot of them go in traumatized. It's just a very sad situation. We've all been turned into chemical cocktails.
Chemical cocktails.
Yeah. So that they can take control of just about anyone at any time. And then, to top it all off, they rain down these chemicals on us that you breathe in. So it's just another portion of that which they have you already taking into your body. Look at Monsanto. Monsanto is the most evil corporation on the face of this freaking earth, thinking that they can control and contain all of the food and tell everybody that, if our seeds happen to get on your property, then we can sue you.
What?
Yeah. They've sued farmers because they found some of their seed mixed in, which I know that Monsanto goes in and plants. All it takes is to throw a few.
Smiley says, oh great, now I won't wash my hair for a week because there might be something in my shampoo.
Well, there might, so you should check, or just go to some place that the shampoo is made. Right there, and you can find what's in it. We need to start finding that. We need to start finding each other. Do you understand? We need to start finding each other that are doing something that's natural. That's actually going to be good for you. Okay, and I know that whenever someone thinks of someone who makes their own shampoo, who makes their own candles, and makes their own soap, all you think is banjos and granola.
Hippie.
But listen, they have a point in this way. At least they know what the hell is going into their bodies or going onto their bodies. Okay, instead of buying that thing that has all of these chemicals just so that you can have this particular cake, and you know everything that's in it is bad, go to your local baker. And that's not just a plug for my shop. I'm just saying, instead of going to this place where you have all of these, what do they call it, foodologists or whatever they call it.
Dietitians?
No, not dietitians.
What?
No. They call them, I'm looking for a word.
Foodie?
No, it's food science people. They don't call them chefs anymore. They call them food scientists. And listen, cooking is not a science. Cooking is an art. It always has been. It comes from here, So you find someone that you know what they're cooking for you. Okay, and they can tell you, well, this is in it, this is in it, and this is in it. And it should be very simple. And all of a sudden you look and there's like dextrose and polyurethane and radiator fluid in your stuff. But it's really good. You need to start paying attention. Seriously, do some research. It'll help you in the long run. You'll be one of those that can't be programmed. They'll try. This is only part. I have to show you the physical basis, physical things that they can do to make you susceptible to remote viewing before we get up into the esoteric portions of it. Basically, humans are very easily programmed. We're all easily programmed. We were raised that way. We were born that way. And if we didn't act that way, either law enforcement or your parents would beat it into you, or governmental things would beat it right into you. Look how no one's really mad at the fact that Bernie got screwed out of the election. He got totally screwed, and he got screwed by the Hillary campaign people, because his votes did not get counted. That is illegal. Do you understand? It's illegal, not legal. It's against the law. Yes, she's getting away with it. And there are people out voting, oh, because it's a woman. Give me a freaking break, dude. Seriously. I mean, I wanted to vote for her because my reasons were just kind of stupid. Because as far as I'm concerned, any person that is a candidate that is experienced has a right to run for president. However, I liked Hillary because at first I kind of liked her attitude, and I really liked her smile, because when she smiled, it was so big and genuine and all that stuff.
That's it.
Look, that's all anybody knows. I don't talk to me about the policies and crap, because those policies don't really apply to me. Don't talk to me about the economy, because I hustle my butt every single day. And the economy that they call the economy does not send anything my way unless I go out and take what it is that I need. Okay, so don't talk to me about gas prices, because if I need to go somewhere, come and pay for the damn gas, don't talk to me about stuff that happened in Benghazi. I don't want to hear about it. And I found out a lot about her, and I found out a lot about her that place her in the role of evil, and I do not want to vote for her. And I'm not going to be forced to vote for her either. And neither should any one of you. And then the other toad is to anyone who votes for that toad, Trump. That guy is a combination of a giant bullfrog and the Grinch.
What if people just say?
I'd say just write in Bernie. Period. And they'll find a way to cheat him. They're just doing it illegally.
I remember there is a spot that you can choose other and write in the
but
person's
see,
name.
I'm kind of an egomaniac. I'd write my own stuff.
I would write President Camacho.
The Rock.
Camacho, not The Rock. Camacho.
I would rather have Frito run.
Because then he'd be like, the balls.
Be like, I like money.
I like money.
So try to stay out of that. Investigate what you're actually eating. If it comes up with some maltodextrin chlorohydrate, you don't need to eat that stuff. Just a thought. Anyway, any other things? Anything at all?
No.
Okay. What's our time?
8:10.
All right. I'd like to thank you all for joining us on the Ask the Unicorn show. Please tell your friends about the show. We could really use the support. And the more questions that there are, the more I get to answer. Okay.
President. Yeah, it says Z for president.
Yes, that's right.
No, guys, no.
Yes. Yes, it would be a blast, man.
I would
Seriously.
have to work
See,
so hard.
I wouldn't be as nice as Obama. Seriously. The moment that someone tried to talk static about me, I'd be all up in their face and say, shut up. Sit your ugly butt down.
Oh my God, I gotta show you. I found, I was looking at, anyways, it's a Polynesian comedy show, and it is a Samoan guy as president. It's freaking hilarious.
I would. I seriously, like Obama,
He says.
I was always waiting for him to get upset about something. I think he's the coolest guy. I think he's an entire gentleman. And I think that he has been the most dignified president that we've had in a very, very long time. But seriously, the moment that Congress decided to not show up for work, I would say, fine, you're all fired. And I would find a way to fire the bastards. Okay, you're fired. I'd be like, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, and screw you. Okay, you're definitely fired. You know, and them saying rude things. Like I heard that guy Lou, I think his name was Lou Dobbs, saying Mr. Obama. I'd like to kick him straight up his butt. It is President Obama, you jackass. Okay, I'm just saying, if Lou Dobbs ever looks at this, I want to direct this. I want to put this directly to you. It is President Obama, you jackass. Okay. So, because if I were president and I got, what did you call me, Mr. Obama? I would make sure that you said publicly who I am. I'd be like Muhammad Ali. What's my name?
Computers.
You know. So anyway.
Done. Computer's done.
You said that already.
I don't.
You don't need to react like that.
No, I don't know why it's doing this.
Yeah, but you don't need to react that way.
I can't. Oh, look, there it is.
Of course. Patience, child. Patience, child.
No, it's acting stupid. I can't
Patience, child.
type anything.
Patience. It's all right. Nice, guys.
Stop.
Nice. Shall I sing you a lullaby?
No, ew. Aren't you supposed to end the show?
In a minute. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for joining us on Ask the Unicorn. As I said, please tell your friends about the show. For those of you that are interested in classes, you can contact us at www.unicorn-code.com. And for those of you that are interested in readings, you can do the same. Those of you that have questions that you'd like to print ahead of time, you can also look at us, email us at www.asktheunicorn.com or give us a call at area code 207-347-5686. So, as I said, try to stay clear of the madness. Watch what it is that you're eating and understand you're in the process of waking up. There are going to be some strange things going on with you. Just steer clear of the crazy and prepare yourselves, okay? This is going to be a bumpy ride. Seriously, don't think that it's not going to. I'm not one of those people that says things lightly, you know, when it comes to saying prepare yourselves. We're in for some wild things, okay? This is not the end. I told you guys last time that they were preparing to do something really screwed up. And this Orlando thing, that was screwed up. But that's not it. That's not the end. They're going to do something very drastic. Okay? Okay, it's great. No one got all upset after they were attacking different ethnicities, the police brutality and this and the women and so forth. And now they're having us distracted by transgender people being able to use the same freaking restroom. I don't care. You know? But okay, so let's openly shoot up a place where that's known to be a gay bar or gay and lesbian bar, and then say that this was a hate crime against gay and lesbians, but that's not enough. Let's make sure that everyone knows that ISIS hates gays. Okay, but not that American church. What was the name of that church?
I don't know.
That damn church that goes to every event and talks about that these soldiers were killed because they were faggots. Okay, Those people need to be kicked straight up their asses, each one of them. And they also need to be questioned because they might have something to do with it. Okay? I don't know why law enforcement isn't questioning them. They were the hate group. Question them. Okay, anyway, I'm getting off track. So
yeah,
you all have a
language is inappropriate.
Sorry, you all have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful weekend. I'll see you all next week on Ask the Unicorn. Until then, love you all. Unicorn out.
This thing.
It's okay.